We're reviewing fives. We saw a video on nines, but I can't put that through the computer. So again, we said a tip is if you're multiplying by 5, use 10. 10 times 4 is 40, and then take half the number since 5 is half of 10. This we did. 5 times 11 is 55. 5 times 10 is 50. 1 times 5 is 5. 5 times 5 is 25. Okay, so now here's an example, girls and boys. I just want to do some examples with multiplying a 5 by an odd number. It will always end with a 5. So here's an odd number. Who thinks they know what 5 times 9 is? Tristan. 45.
It's in the 9.
And by the way, you're right, it's in the 9s. Now, if I didn't, no, that's not an odd. Let's do this one. Here's an odd number. 3 times 5.
25.
No. And by the way,
15.
15. Because if it's a 3, you can skip count very quickly. Listen carefully. You can go 5, 10, 15. 3 5s. 5, 10, 15. So that's 15, and it ends with a 5. I'm just looking for odd numbers. 1 times 5 is, what's 1 times? 5. Then I'm looking for an odd. 5 times 11, 55. Here's our 9 and 5. 9 times 5, 45, because it starts with a 4 and it ends with a 5. Here's an odd number. 3 times, I'm skipping around, so stick with me, don't try to jump ahead. 3 5s is 15. And then I'm looking for another, I'm going to do one more row of odd, and then we're going to look at some even. So another odd number right here. 5 times 5 is 25. Here's an odd number. 5 times 7. Okay, and if you don't, 35. And I could go 10 times 7, which is 70, and cut it in half. But you have to know that half of 70 is 35. But the fact is, every odd number multiplied by 9 ends with a 5. So this one is 35. Or you could skip count with 7 fingers. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So that's another way, and we'll do that again. In fact, here also, what's 5 times 7?
45.
Same thing. Odd number, 5 times 11, 55. 5 times 9,
45.
45. Good job. 5 times 10, we'll just go ahead and do,
50.
is 50. And now we're going to look at some even numbers, then I'll put up the video. So on even numbers that end with 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, those are even numbers. And an even number times 5 will always end with a 0. Will always end with a 0. So let's go back to these. This 8 is an even number. I know it's going to end with 0. Who thinks they know what 8 times 5 is? Gia, what? 40. And also, listen carefully, evens are easier to use that 10 rule. 10 times 8 is 80. What's half of 80? 40. Okay, so if you have even numbers, it makes it very easy. So here's an even number. I'll use the 10 rule. 10 times 6 is 60. What's half of 60? 30. Okay, then let's see if you could do this with the 10s. 10 times 12 is 120. What's half of 120? What's 60? Good job. Then, all right, then here's an odd, well, this one should be easy. What's 2 10s? 10. Okay, then 4 20s. You can go 5, 10, 15, 20. This is going to be 20. And then this is the one we just did. I'm going to use a 10. 10 times 12, I just tack on a 0, is 120. Half of 120 is 60.
Plus 60 plus 60 makes
That's right. Very good. Then this was an odd number. No, this is even. So I'm going to use the 10. 10 times 8 is 80, but what's half of 80? 40. So because 5 is half of 10, so we can cut it in half at the end. So this one should be easy just to do. 2 times 5 is 10. Let's go right below. 10 times 60 is,
30.
I said 10 times 8. 10 times 6 is 60. Half of 60 is 30. You are right. Oh, I'm going to go this way. Then I'm going to use 10 again because I don't know what this is. 10 times this is 120. What's half of 120? 60. So let's go over to this one we should know without any work. 5 times 10 is 50. Who knows what 5 times 6 is? 30. But if I didn't know, I could go 10 times 6, which is 60, and then cut it in half, which is 30. Now, so I'm going to pause this. This will be part one of the video, and then I'll have to come back because we're going to watch a YouTube.